Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another piercing video, and this video is going to be talking all about my ear piercings. I'm just going to be talking about, how many I have, what ear piercings I do have. I'm going to be talking about my two newest ones. If you've been subscribed to me, you know my Tragus and Helix are my newest ones. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that and just my experience overall with these ear piercings. So if you want to find out more, just keep on watching. Make sure you watch the whole video, because if you have similar piercings to me, you may have some questions, and those questions might get answered in this video. So please just ask or watch the whole video, and at the end, if I still didn't answer your question, go ahead and ask it below and I will be more than happy to answer it for you. But we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, I have 8 ear piercings. I have 5 in this ear and 3 in this ear. So to start, in this ear I have my first, second, and third lobes, just your standard ear piercings like that. So I have 3 there. And then on this ear, I have the same 3. I have my first, second, and third lobes. And then up here, I have my Helix, which is right there. And then I have my Tragus, which is right there, and it just looks like that. So 6 of the 8 ear piercings that I have were done at Claire's. The 3 lobes on this side and the 3 lobes on this side were all done at Claire's. My first lobes were done when I was 2 months old, so I've had these for 20 years. And then the second ones were also done at Claire's, and these were done when I was 12, and then my third lobes were done when I was 17. So I've had them for quite a while, and they were all done at Claire's with the gun. I know a lot of people are gonna say the gun is not good to get ear piercings with, but in my personal opinion, if it's a lobe piercing, I really don't see a problem with getting a lobe piercing done at the mall. If you want to get anything cartilage-wise pierced, I would recommend going to get it pierced by a needle at a professional shop rather than a gun, because a gun doesn't really, it's just not good to get anything cartilage-wise pierced with a gun, and I will explain why in just a minute. The lobe piercings that were done with the gun were about $30 each. Kind of expensive, I know. I think they have gone down in price, or they have like a deal going on with their ear piercings. Like if you buy like an ear piercing like cleaning kit, then you get a free piercing or something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm not going back to Claire's to get the rest of my piercings, but when I did go there, yeah, that's about how much they were. The 2 newest piercings that I have up here, they were done at a Mystery Inc., where I go and get all my other piercings. Every piercing you see on me was done at a Mystery Inc., including these 2 little babies up here. So my Helix piercing up here was $15, and then my Tragus was also $15 at a Mystery Inc. So altogether it was $30 for those 2 piercings. Really cheap, really affordable. I love that place. They are so professional, and they have really good, the piercers know what they're doing. So many people come to me and say, a cheap piercing means crap quality jewelry or crap piercers or crap needles. No, not true at all. The price has nothing to do with the actual piercer and the piercing equipment. All of their equipment is sterile, clean, professional, good. The piercers are certified and they know what they're doing, and they just like to give out their piercings at a cheap price, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love that. I'm going back there all the time. I do plan on going back there after Christmas, which I will talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so all of their piercings are really affordable and at a really good price. So there's nothing wrong with having a cheap piercing, because just as long as they're certified and all the equipment is sterile, then it should be fine. I have nothing wrong with them. Everyone else I know who has gone to them has never had a problem, so why not? Why stop going, So first I want to talk about my Helix, or cartilage piercing, which is up here. This is not a new piercing to me. I have actually had this piercing 4 times. This is my 4th time having it pierced. The last 3 times were done at Claire's with the gun, and like I said before, I'm going to be talking about why cartilage piercings are not good with the gun. And the reason why is I've had this same exact piercing, same exact spot for 4 times or 3 times with the gun at Claire's, $30 each time, and honestly, just not a good idea. It never healed properly. The jewelry was always too small or too tight. I would get keloids after keloids with the gun, and you know, it's just not good. So I've had this piercing before, and this was my first time getting it done with a needle. It felt no different. I mean, there was maybe a little bit more pressure because it was a needle, so it took a little longer than just a quick snap of the gun. So it wasn't that, it wasn't really that different as far as like pain goes. But yeah, I'm really glad I got it done with the needle this time, because the gun just was not a good idea. If you do get it done with a gun, you're going to experience slower healing time, a lot more, you know, chances of keloids, infection, things like that, and you just don't want that. So if you really want to get anything cartilage pierced, like your conch, tragus, rook, what's this one? Daith? This little part right here, I don't know. If you ever want anything cartilage pierced, go to a piercing shop and get it done with a needle. It's just better for it, and you know, you won't have the risks as much as you would with the gun. And a reasoning why it's not good to go and get pierced with a piercing gun is because the needles inside of the piercing guns are not hollow needles. So when they pierce you with the gun, it's just pushing skin out. It's not like a hollow needle would be taking the skin out with the needle, whereas just the regular needle is just pushing through. Like, it's not actually taking the skin away or anything like that. Does that make sense? I'm trying to like explain this so it like all makes sense. But so yeah, that's the reasoning for that. And when, you know, that skin doesn't get taken away with the needle, it can sometimes grow back, and that's why keloids become such a problem when you get pierced with a gun, especially up here. That was my biggest problem, and then they would always get infected, because at the time, you know, being 13 years old with a cartilage piercing, I didn't really know what I was doing. So yeah, the gun's just not a good thing. In general, before we move on to these two piercings, all of my Lobe's piercings took about 3 months to heal. I just cleaned them twice a day, you know, in the morning and at night before I went to bed, with just a little cleaning solution that Claire's gave me when I got them pierced. Really not a big deal. It wasn't anything, you know, tedious or anything. It just cleaned them, went to bed, woke up, cleaned them, went to school. And some of you wanted to see what my ears look like when I take all of my ear piercings out. I'm not going to do it with this ear because, again, these piercings are still somewhat fresh, so I'm just going to leave those in there. So I will just go ahead and show you what this lobe looks like without all of my ear piercings in. It really doesn't look any different. You can't really tell. It's not like, you know, a big difference or anything like that. So here's what my ear looks like without the jewelry in it. As you can see, I just have my first lobe, second lobe, and third lobes right here. A lot of people ask me if I've ever had my first lobes gauged before, and the answer is no. I have very chubby earlobes, so it looks like my ears have been gauged before, but when you pull my ear back, it's a hole. It's not like gauged or anything. Would I ever consider gauging my first lobes? No, I would not, just because I don't want to interfere with these, because I really like these piercings. So if I were to ever gauge this, it would be a very, very small one, not really big at all, just because I really want to keep my lobe piercings and future lobe piercings that I may ever want to get. I do like the look of gauged ears, but it's something I don't really want to do. So anyway, moving on to these two piercings. I have had these two for about 10 weeks now, I want to say. I think 2 days ago was 10 weeks. So I've had them for about 10 weeks and 2 days. So they are still fairly fresh, especially for these two piercings. You know, pain level, it wasn't that bad. I do have a video of me getting them done, and I have a video on how I clean them. Those videos will be linked down below in the description box if you are interested in seeing me getting them pierced and knowing how I clean mine. So they are about 10 weeks, and so far they're doing really, really good. My ear is kind of red now just because I was, you know, playing with it. So excuse that. My ears are doing just fine. It's just red because I was just playing with this. So yeah, they're doing really, really good. They're healing like they should. I'll go ahead and show you what my tragus looks like now. Alright, so there is my tragus piercing 10 weeks later. So it still looks really good. It does not hurt anymore. I can move it, you know, all around now without having any sort of pain. And then my Helix is doing the normal stuff. You know, it has like the crusties and still a little sore from time to time. That's what the back of it looks like. So it's doing really good. They're doing as they should. This is how all of my ear piercings healed. So yeah, it's just a little crusty, but you know, again, I can move it just fine. So that's what that one looks like. During the healing process, so far I have had one keloid on my tragus piercing, and really not a big deal. Since my tragus was pierced with a hoop, and the hoop does move around quite often, it is very normal for a keloid to form, especially when you are moving and playing with the piercing too much. The only time you should really be moving a piercing is when you are cleaning it, which I am terrible at because I constantly play with my ear piercings. So a keloid did arise, and it really wasn't a big deal. It didn't scare me or anything. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was normal. And the one cure that I did for it is, of course, my tea tree oil. I love this stuff. If you are a person who has piercings, I definitely recommend buying this. It was about $10 at Walgreens, a little pricey, I know, but it really does work. Like about 3 days ago, I had a massive keloid on my eyebrow piercing for the first time, and I used this, and 3 days later it was gone. So it does really good things, especially for, you know, keloids or anything like that. Don't use this to clean your piercings. Only use this on keloids, and only use it 2 to 3 times a week. Don't use it any more than that, and it will go away. If you use it too much, it can really dry out the piercing and irritate it. But this is what I use to clean off, or get rid of the keloids. It really does help. So this has been a savior of mine. And then to clean it, as far as that goes, I use my sea salt, which just looks like this. Just got it at a pet store. Works great. It has done wonders for all of my piercings. Ever since I got my belly button pierced up until now, 13 piercings later, I still use this, and it does great things for your piercings. So I definitely recommend getting some non-iodized sea salt to clean your piercings. And then in the shower, I still wash all of my piercings just to get any no-makeup or anything like that off. And for that, I use my Provon antimicrobial lotion soap, which just looks like this. I got this off Amazon for about $5-ish, I want to say. I'm not really sure, but you can find this on Amazon, and this is a great soap for piercings. I did do a review on this. If you guys are interested in that, it is in my tattoos and piercings playlist. I did get a few questions from you guys about my tragus piercing in particular, and a lot of you wanted to know is earphones. How do you wear earphones when it's healing? And I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I got it pierced, I did not wear earbuds in this ear for a long time. I was only putting them in this ear. So now about 5 to 6 weeks into the healing process, I can now wear earphones, and mine just look like this. They're just your generic standard little earbuds, which just look like that. And, you know, I just, you know, put them in like this, and then to put this one in, I just slide it in like that. So that's what it looks like. It does not hurt the piercing at all. I barely feel it. So I just, you know, just put it in like usual. It doesn't hurt. If your piercing does hurt when you put your earbuds in, take them out. Maybe your piercing's not ready to handle all of that yet. So only do it when your piercing is feeling okay. So that's how I put in my earbuds. Another question was with the Helix piercing is a lot of people were wondering when they could change it. Don't change it 9 to 12 months. Wait until it's fully healed, because Helix piercings do take longer to heal. I know not a lot of people believe that because it's just an ear piercing, but it is very hard cartilage up there, so you do have to give it time to heal. So don't rush into changing it. So far, about 5 weeks into the healing process, I can now sleep on my right side again comfortably. I can lay on a pillow on my right side without having any sort of irritation. So I could finally sleep on my right side again. If you can't yet, that's fine. Your piercings just may take longer to heal. Just wait till they're healed until you sleep on that side again. Another trick I like to do if I couldn't resist and I had to sleep on my right side, I would lay down and kind of cuff my arm like this, and then just lay with my ear in the little space, just so I had room to give my ear some room to breathe, and I wasn't like crushing it or anything. So I just kind of cuffed it and laid like that until I fell asleep. When you get ear piercings, or when I got mine, you got to clean them really good for the first 3 months, at least 2 to 3 times a day. And sorry, I don't know, my throat's just messed up. I think I'm getting sick and I'm not happy about it. Ear piercings, you want to make sure that you clean them really, really good for the first 3 months, 2 to 3 times a day, and then vary it up from once a day until they're fully healed. With these piercings right now, I still clean my Helix every day, and then my Tragus maybe about every other day, because you know this does take longer to heal than this one, and this one's doing better than this one. So far I haven't had any infections whatsoever. I did have one flare up with this one. I bumped it really bad on a wall, and yeah, it was not fun. I wasn't paying attention. I walked a little too close to a wall when I was talking, and boom, it scraped really hard. And it flared up really bad. It just got really swollen and red, but nothing infection-wise or anything like that. So just make sure you're really careful with your ear piercings. I try to stay as careful with mine as possible. Far, the only weird kind of problem but normal that I've been having with my Helix piercing is after I got it pierced, I developed 2 cysts. And if you don't know what those are, you can go ahead and look them up, but they are actually like a hardened piece of skin. Don't really know what causes it. It's some type of liquid. I don't know. I haven't really learned about cysts yet, but I did get 2 of those. I got one right behind my ear right here, and then I got one right behind my ear, like in this area. And it's totally normal with ear piercings. It can happen, and it does happen. I got 2 of them. You don't play with them. Don't try to pop them. Clean them with sea salt, and mine went away within 2 weeks. That's exactly what I did. So just kind of follow those guidelines, and you know, it will be fine. But cysts are normal. I don't really know what causes them. You can go ahead and look it up, but especially with Helix piercings, that is quite a common problem. Now let's get into future piercings that I want. Some future piercings that I really want to get, and hopefully after Christmas, is I want to get my 4th lobes done. So I want another one here. I want to get my rook. I might get my other tragus done just because that's like my favorite ear piercing that I have. I might get that done. Industrial, a lot of you are saying you should get an industrial piercing. It would look really good on you. Well, thank you. And I don't know for sure if I want to get that yet. Just because those are like the one piercing that are like such a pain in the ass to heal, because they are 2 cartilage piercings, one going up this way and one coming down this way, and almost all the time you get keloids with those, like, so I don't know if I really want to deal with that, just because I have 2 healing piercings over here, and I'll have more in the future over here. So I don't know if I will ever get that. Just kind of you know, I'm just kind of weighing that one out. I'm not really 100% sure if I want it yet. As far as my piercings, they've all healed really well. These are still healing great. If you guys want to go get your ears pierced, I would recommend going to a professional shop and getting it done with a needle more than a gun, just because the gun isn't as safe as a actual piercing needle. So that's just my recommendation for you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informational for all of you who were curious about how my ear piercings were doing. They're doing great, and I hope this kind of gave you information about piercings if you guys are interested in getting any of these piercings that I have. I hope I answered enough of everyone's questions in this video. If I didn't, please leave a comment below and I will get back to you. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys. So those are all the ear piercings that the dumpster. Really? Right now? These windows are like paper. For real.